Okay, in our last example, we were working on creating an animated menu system that comes in at slightly different speed for each item. We changed the colour, we've given them labels, and now what we're going to do is just quickly address what might happen if we have multiple scenes. So in the example there are about 5 scenes. I'm just going to simulate this. So if I add a scene, if I duplicate this scene, which we find at the bottom of the scene menu, which I've moved across next to library at this point in time, what will happen is it will continuously loop through those scenes. Currently that breaks the code. Now in the second scene that I've created, scene 1 copy, I can put anywhere on the timeline a little stop. So this is to ensure that we're on the second scene and not the first scene, to simulate what would happen if we moved from scene 1 to scene 2, as it were. And we'll notice that all that happens is the items come in all together and they have no labels, because in this scene they haven't been set. There's no VX being set and there's no colours being initialized, and so really what we could do to address this is take all of these initialization variables that were in functions and put them on the timeline in that scene, and then test, and that fixes the whole problem. But obviously that brings in an awful lot of code that we don't necessarily really need, but this is a problem you'll come across with other scenes. So what I'm going to do is take all of that information out of the constructor, which is called main in this example, and I'm going to create a public function called setMenu. Currently it doesn't need any parameters bringing in, and I will just put all of that information in there, call the function inside of the constructor. Let's tie that up a little bit. Set menu, there we go, and that should call my instructions when the menu is run, which is the first time that the file is run. So we're still in the same position until in the application on the second scene I call set menu, which initializes the variables that are required for it to work, such as VX, colours and things. And there we go. So with one line of, or a few extra lines of code overall, but in the main FLA file, we can now create any number of scenes and keep that menu consistent throughout, because the duplicate scene is a very useful tool when it comes to building these kinds of applications. Okay, that's where we'll stop at this example.